Hey team, it's day 21. I hope you guys are doing great. Want to jump into the 6 goals quick, but remember a long time ago when I said before you start this, or if you have comorbidities, please consult with your doctor. Well, I went to the doctor on Friday. I believe I told you that, and did my blood panel like I do twice a year. And I want to go over what the doctor said to me about the diet. And also, I want to go over my lipid numbers today. The reason I want to go over my lipids is I think because for both male and female humans, uh, lipids are probably, I believe, with the weight pandemic or obesity pandemic we have going on, at least in the US, but it's all over the world as well, that heart attack and stroke are two of the biggest risk factors we have, and lipids play directly into that. So let's go over it after we get through the numbers. And I have to use red. I don't like it. Day 21, 222. That actually was very surprising and a good surprise this morning. It was 221.6. I'll take it. 1610 were the calories. I'll tell you why those were a little low in a minute. 118 ounces, only 6.5 hours of sleep. Just had a little bit of a rough night and early start this morning. 55 minutes of working out. I've really got that workout down, and only 90 grams of protein. And why did I only get 90 grams of protein? My daughter brought back some cake bake last night, which I had some because like you can't pass that stuff up. And I think you guys would be surprised when I show you my food journal at the end of this. I'm a pretty normal eater and eat pretty normal foods, and I indulge on normal desserts. Cake bake's not really normal. I wouldn't go there because it's expensive, I think. But she brought that home. I ate it. After calculating it in what it was, I was at 1610. And you know what's in that cake bake. It's fat and sugar. So fats and carbohydrates, not anything close to protein. I was full. So I'm like, why shove myself some protein shakes, to try and get the protein in? It just wasn't worth it. So I just let it go. And that's why I'm at 1610. So I don't like using red, but it's okay. Within about 3 weeks, I'm down 10 pounds. Happy with that. I'm going to continue to go. Hopefully you guys are following me too. So like I said, consult your doctor when you're doing a weight loss program like this. And what did my doctor say? Well, to the trifecta, he's like, more sleep, calorie ranges that are, decent with your basal metabolic rate, and water. He's like, awesome, I'm all in. But the protein, he really questioned me on that. And I threw some literature that I had read at for someone like myself, who likes to do some resistance training, low 40s, pretty healthy. And we'll go over my lipid panels in a minute, but I'm like, hey, I'm going to push back on you for some of the stuff I read. And he's like, hey, my nephrologist or kidney doctor may have some problems with that, right? But the biggest thing is that his practice that he has is a lot of geriatric patients who have, tons of comorbidities and, lower kidney function the way it is. So a high protein diet wouldn't be good for somebody with some kidney problems, right? And so what I told him is, I'm like, listen, I'm going to keep going on this. If my numbers are horrible for my EGFR and any of creatinine or any other things that give you a red flag with the kidney stuff, we'll talk about it. And they were fine. So I'm going to keep going, but he did cause kind of like a blinker to go on. And I believe it's because, who his patient group is. But he did say he would go less than that. He'd go about half that. So, I've always said the protein's optional. I'm not going to drop it. But, if you were thinking that, yourself that the protein's high, 0.5 grams per pound is fine as well. 0.5, 0.75. I've seen a lot of that different stuff, but as long as you don't have kidney issues, I've read at least that, protein shouldn't have a negative push on your kidneys until you get some of those comorbidities. So I don't know. He's the doctor though. So we'll go from there. Lipid panel. Why are we talking about lipid? Heart attack and stroke. So when you take a look, my total cholesterol was at 192, should be between 100 and 200. Triglycerides, those are the little things that float around in your blood that store the extra fat or energy that you eat. They were at 72. That's about in the middle. I think it's 50 to 150. HDLs were 40. That's on the low end. It's between 40 and 50. And the LDLs were 138. They were high. But I was fasting for a very long time. And there are studies that show if you do a lot of fasting, or if you're fasted when you take that for a long period of time, it can increase your LDLs. But I'm not using that as an excuse. This is high to me. 100 or below is optimal. 100 to I think like 126 or whatever is like it's high normal, but not concerned. And he wasn't concerned about 138 either, just because I was fasting, and he knows who I am, and he's been following my lipids for a long time, but they've always stayed. Last time they were at 110. So this concerns me a little bit. So, but I also did gain 7 pounds. I was 7 pounds heavier than the last time I was there. So that also helps. When you get fatter, your HDLs go up. Excuse me, your LDLs go up. Your HDLs are actually the good cholesterol. But how can you get rid of these LDLs? Increase your activity, healthy eating, such as like leafy greens and stuff with soluble fiber in it. That also helps. And, lose weight, which is what we're doing right now. Stop smoking and stop excessive alcohol drinking. So those are ways that you can get your LDLs to lower. Now, this is what my LDLs were today or Friday, but in 4 to 6 months, when I get them drawn again, I'll let you guys know how the updates are. But one thing also that I'm going to do is I want to get more soluble fiber in my diet. I have been reluctant on that from a food choice perspective, that I haven't been eating a lot of high fiber food. So I'm going to start mixing in more of these into my protein shakes or smoothies or anything if I do during the day. This is soluble fiber. It's psyllium husk by Now Foods. I love these guys. 1 tablespoon is 30 calories is all, gives you 7 grams of fiber. This is a good one to have. I'll put the link in the video in the description. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you have any comments, let me know, and we'll answer them in subsequent videos. But I believe that if you guys continue to roll on this journey with me and lose weight, it should positively affect that lipid panel. Now, remember, some of that is also hereditary. So please, 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 as you get older, as you go through life, get your lipid panels checked. If you're obese and your lipids are high, your mortality is decreasing. You're going to die early. So, and what does LDL do? It sticks to your veins. If you have high blood pressure, it forms some plaques. And what those plaques do, or atherosclerosis, or what those plaques do is they'll break away and they flow through some of your bigger tubes like arteries and stuff until they hit heart, block it for a heart attack, or they come up your carotid and block right there for a stroke. So heart attack and stroke is what high LDLs for a long period of time will eventually end up doing to you. So please, please, please maintain a healthy weight. Eat a little healthier with maybe some soluble fiber. And you know what? Increase your activity a little bit, 30 minutes a day. So although I put optional for that, might be something to go by. So thanks so much for all your support. I appreciate it. And again, look forward to talking to you in subsequent videos.